Alright, good evening. Today we're talking about synthetic division and some properties, rules, and other things that you have to remember when performing it. So, first off, we want to talk about something pretty basic, and that is the number that you're dividing by should always be a binomial with a first degree variable and a 0 degree number. So, first off is I'm just going to start by setting up the problem so I can talk about it a bit more. So, first off is that you bring this over as a negative, just the 0 degree number, whatever it is can be a positive or negative integer to start off with. So, there's that. And then what you want to do is fill up an area here as the degrees counting down. So like third, in this case, because it starts with third degree, second degree, first degree, and 0 degree. And something you'll notice here is something I purposely put in is that we actually don't have a second degree number. Now, what you do in those cases is you actually just put it in as a 0, and that's a pretty simple idea right there. And so you just begin to drop down the actual whole numbers from those degreed values. So that is 4, 0, oh, sorry, that's supposed to be just x, my bad. Negative 1, I don't know why I was end up at 3, I've done that like 3 times. Plus 2. So what you do from here is just start dropping them down and multiplying them by this value right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop that number down, and that is 4. So what I do from here is I just multiply whatever's on the bottom by this number right here. So in this case it ends up being negative 8. And once you've reached this step, what you do is you combine these two numbers. Unfortunately in this case this number is 0, and what that means is it just ends up being negative 8 yet again. So again, you take this number here, multiply it by negative 2, and that comes out to be 16. Now this time we actually have a value, and that is negative 1. So once you combine negative 1 and 16, that is 15. And then again, you multiply it by negative 2, bada boom, you got 30. And then you combine this into it, so now it's negative 28. Now, this is the point where the x value actually comes in. What we do here is we actually just take all these numbers and, you know, how this started off as degree 3, degree 2, degree 1, and degree 0, and we just lower it by a step. And so how can you go below degree 0? Well, this actually just becomes your remainder. So that becomes negative 28 over x plus 2. And so what you do from here is this actually just becomes 15, because it goes from degree 1 to degree 15, or degree 0, so that's just 15. This becomes just degree 1, so it's negative 8x plus 15 plus that. And this becomes degree 2. And this is all as a result of the x value that we have here. And that's why you have such a weird and large set of rules associated with this. So it's just 4x squared. And there's your answer. And that's about it. It's fairly simple. Hope you guys understood this pretty well. Oh, and one thing that I did have trouble with this one with is when I was actually learning it in class, I was absent. So something that really helped me out in class was the fact that we always go over these problems in class like a couple days later and just like have people run through them, make sure that you understand, and you can like learn from other people's mistakes, because they're always common mistakes, and they just add better understanding and depth to what you've already learned. And so that's about it. Hope you have a nice afternoon, and good night.